I stuck around outside the woods for another half hour, listening for any sound of Bianca in distress. She was in the woods with that thing, after all. But everything was quiet. And a few hours later, I received another alert from the doorbell app. Bianca returning to her room and collapsing into bed. I was relieved to know she was all right, and curious and concerned in equal measure. She and I made plans yesterday to meet before first period to review the footage, which means I have no excuse to miss my morning meetup with River. The affection I once felt for the woods behind the school has vanished, and I flinch with every twig snap as I make my way through the trees. Of course, our meetups might not even continue beyond this morning. It's a question that's been at the back of my mind since I was banned from the broadcast team this weekend. Journalism was always the basis of River and my friendship? The acquaintanceship thing? Would River, prickly as he always is, continue to see the value of these meetups? Would I? Another twig snap, and I flinch. I turn to my right and see River, eyeing my reaction with wry amusement. You all right? Fine, I'm fine. River takes a seat on his tree stump and pulls out his notebook. How are student elections shaping up at Wildwood? Hey, River? He looks at me with that deadpan expression on his face. We're going to keep meeting, Fred. You didn't even let me ask the question. I knew where you were headed. So you've already thought about it. There's not much to think about. You might not be in broadcast, but you're still one of the most connected people I know at Wildwood. And I imagine it will only be a matter of time before you start investigating something on your own time. I smirk. River rolls his eyes. You're already investigating something? One of the freshmen at Wildwood, Bianca Riva, I think she's been sleepwalking out of her dorm. And supposedly she's been seen with a boy from Ravenswood. I'm trying to figure out what's going on before she ends up getting herself hurt. I haven't heard any chatter, but I can look into it. Any luck talking to the students who have seen Bianca leave? I tried yesterday. Students are a little less willing to open up after everything that went down last week. You don't have the backing of the broadcast team anymore. You'll have to find other ways of getting people to talk, even when they don't want to. I head over to Bianca's dorm room after wrapping up my meeting with River. As she opens her door, I notice you'd never know she spent the night traipsing through the woods. She looks fresh-faced and bright-eyed, already dressed and ready for school. Well, did you figure anything out? I pull out my phone and hand it to Bianca. Why don't you take a look at this video? Bianca sinks down into her bed as she watches the surveillance footage from last night. This is... What? This isn't possible. Have you ever sleepwalked in the past? I don't sleepwalk. I never have. This is a mistake. This can't be real. I scan the room and spot Bianca's robe hung on a hook near her closet. I pull it down and show her the damp organic matter, tiny twigs, grass, leaves, spotting the hem. She takes the robe, stunned. I saw you myself wearing this robe. You walked straight from your dorm into the woods. Bianca looks up. I went into those woods? Bianca gestures toward her window. I nod. Where did I go from there? I'm not sure. I tried to wake you up, but I lost you when you entered the woods. Do you have any idea where you might have been headed? I don't know. Bianca watches through the footage one more time before handing my phone back to me. Could you give me some time? I need to think through all of this. Yeah, sure. Of course. I'll catch up with you later. Bianca nods, her expression lost as she stares off toward the woods outside. After my morning classes, I look for Bianca during lunch, but can't find any sign of her in the cafeteria. Figuring she's still processing the news, I head to the restroom. The wheelchair stalls in the restrooms are massive, a great space to get away from all the Wildwood noise and think. As I close the stall door, my mind buzzes. How can I best help Bianca? If this is sleepwalking, does the school need to know? Do safeguards need to be put in place? Does she need to talk to a doctor? One question creeps forward in my mind. If Bianca had been a sleepwalker earlier in life, surely someone would have noticed before this. Maybe this really is a recent development. And if it is, has something triggered these episodes?
That klutz! I can't believe she got mustard on my skirt. Una got it even worse than I did. Ugh, and I just remembered. I'm supposed to talk to Professor Mallard before our next class. I'm gonna make that klutz pay. Felicity. That's fine. I'll catch up with you both in Latin. You're sure? I'll be fine.
I listen as Cordelia and Felicity exit the restroom, leaving Una on her own. As I open my stall door, I make eye contact with Una in the restroom mirror. Hi, Una. Her eyes widen and she begins scrubbing the mustard stain on her shirt at a furious pace, inching away from me and toward the door. Would you mind if I asked you just a couple of questions about Bianca? I don't think Cordelia... Una reaches for the restroom door, but I shoulder my way in between. I'm not tall, but Una is even smaller than me, and I try to leverage every bit of that height advantage as I look down at her. You don't have to like me, Una, but this isn't about me. It's about Bianca. I think she's been sleepwalking. Una blinks in surprise. But the whole freshman class, they believe she's been leaving to meet up with a boy from Ravenswood. And you've helped feed that rumor. She didn't look like she was sleepwalking. I saw her myself. I tried interacting with her. She was out of it. Other than a single word, she didn't make a peep. A flicker of recognition passes Una's face. Did you hear her say something? Because whatever she said, I couldn't make it out. Una nods. Yeah, the first time I saw her, right before she left the dorm, I could have sworn I heard her say Meriden. Meriden? Like the camp? It's northeast of here, right? Maybe 5 miles away? Yeah. It's a straight shot through the woods. I step away from the bathroom door. Thanks, Una. She gives me a look, a mix of sheepishness and irritation, and doesn't say another word before heading out the restroom door. I'm sure that interaction won't come back to bite me. I take a breath and a step to follow Una out of the restroom when I hear a stall door open behind me. I turn around and find Piper standing there, an impish look on her face. What are you doing in the high school, Piper?
Just picking up some assignments for Bea until she's back next week.
She smirks.
What are you investigating?
I mean, if you were creeping in that stall the whole time, you pretty much got the whole story.
Yeah, but sleepwalking? You really think Bianca is sleepwalking?
I roll my eyes. I'm not doing this with you. I leave, but Piper follows me out into the main hall.
All I'm saying is it's a little unusual for someone with no history of sleepwalking to just, start.
Are you a medical expert now?
I read things. Uh-huh. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other theoretical explanations for what Bianca is experiencing.
I check my watch. Piper, I'm sorry, but I don't have time for this right now. I have to get to my next class, and I'm pretty sure you do too.
Most of my teachers prefer if I'm late.
I stifle a laugh.
Don't worry, I'll come up with a whole list of what might be causing Bianca's episodes. We'll get to the bottom of this.
As Piper runs off, I let out a sigh and jog to my class. As I round a corner, I nearly run into one of the seniors, Eleanor Prince, hanging posters for her upcoming run for student body president. Whoa, sorry about that, Ellie.
No harm, no foul. Hey, you better get to class, Fred.
I'm only 2 steps into my classroom when the bell rings. I take a breath and move toward the back of the classroom to take a seat.
Not so fast, Frederica.
I spin around to face my professor, Nina Jacobs. She's on the small side, but knows how to throw her weight around. I approach her desk.
You're tardy.
I put on my most pleasant face. It was a close call, but
Are you talking back to me?
Well, this is new. I can feel the eyes of my classmates on my back, hear them whispering. I've never had conflict with Professor Jacobs in the past, even on days when I did run late because of my broadcast duties. Why? Because Nina is one of Diane's best friends. She would come to set before morning broadcasts all the time, bringing donuts or bagels for the crew. I should just take the tardy, take a seat, and keep my head down for the rest of class, but something, maybe curiosity, maybe annoyance over how this week has gone, prompts me to ask, are you allowing your friendship with another professor to impact your treatment of a student? Her face turns red and she points toward the door. Dean's office, now. Vice Dean, make that Dean, Osborne, eyes me, unamused, as I sit across from her in her office. It's only Wednesday, Miss De Winter. You couldn't wait a week before you started acting out? It's been a weird few days. I understand you are frustrated, but the friction you are feeling with professors and students will pass. The assistant to the dean, Shelley Landers, pokes her head in the door.
Dean Osborne, the Office of Student Conduct is nearly finished speaking with Bianca Riva.
Thank you, Shelley. I would like to speak with her next. So that's why I didn't see Bianca in the cafeteria. As I look back toward the dean, I catch her, observing my interest. Is there something you would like to say? A week ago, my answer would have been no. But Ingrid Osborne, I'm still having a tough time knowing where I stand with her. Not to mention what kind of dean she'll turn out to be now that Blackstone is no longer in the picture. Just so you know, Bianca hasn't been sneaking out of her dorm at night. Several students would say otherwise. Bianca has been sleepwalking out of her dorm at night. This gets the dean's attention. Are you sure? I ran into her last night, right outside the woods. And what were you doing outside your dorm late last night? Helping Bianca. I'm pretty sure she was trying to walk to Camp Meriden. Meriden. The dean trails off, thinking. I know she attended Camp Meriden over the summer. I don't know if it has anything to do with her sleepwalking, but I'm hoping to talk to her about it this afternoon. The dean remains quiet for a few moments, continuing to process. I will ask the school nurse to meet with Bianca and see if we can set up safeguards for her at night. We don't need students sleepwalking in the woods. Oh, well, thank you. I think that will be a big help. You are dismissed. Give Professor Jacobs a couple of days to cool down, then offer her an apology. An apology? The dean holds up her hand, looking weary. I will speak with Professor Jacobs after school today. I expect maturity from you both. As much as I want to grumble, this seems reasonable. Yes, ma'am. I wait outside the office until Bianca finishes up with Dean Osborne and the school nurse. She gives me a tired look when she sees me. Thanks, I guess. Who would have thought sleepwalking out of my dorm was preferable to sneaking out? That's Wildwood Hall for you. Bianca and I head for the cafeteria, where the custodial staff cleans the remains of today's lunch. Bianca rests her head in her arms when we sit down. I don't understand what's happening. Here's an out-of-left-field question for you. You attended Camp Meriden over the summer, didn't you? Bianca looks up, taken aback.
Yeah?
How was your time there?
Oh, it was great.
It was my 3rd year attending, and honestly, it was one of my favorite summers ever. I met so many fantastic people. We went horseback riding and took cooking lessons, and there was this summer-long poetry class that I loved.
Why do you ask?
I'm trying to figure out what might have triggered your sleepwalking, and talking with Una helped me realize when I ran into you last night, the direction you were heading, it would have taken you directly to Meriden. Bianca processes this for a moment. So I guess my question is, did anything happen at Meriden this summer that's stuck with you?
I've been having this dream.
This stops me in my tracks as glimpses of my own recurring dream. The boom and the smoke and the mysterious figure all flash through my mind. What kind of dream?
I don't remember much of it, but I know it takes place in a cave at Camp Meriden.
A cave? Like a real cave?
Yeah, it's an eerie place. It has these underground branches that run all throughout the camp. I checked it out once over the summer. A lot of campers do when,
Bianca looks at me for a moment as an expression. Something like embarrassment crosses her face.
Well, yeah. A lot of campers check out the cave.
What was that?
What do you mean?
You started to say something and then you didn't.
No, I just got a little tongue-tied.
Bianca grabs her bag and begins to get up.
I missed most of my morning classes and probably can't afford to miss my afternoon classes too.
Bianca.
The nurse said there was a medication I could try to help with the sleepwalking, so who knows? Maybe this problem will take care of itself. Talk to you later.
And with that, Bianca hurries out of the cafeteria. In all of the conversations I've had with Bianca, never have I picked up on any hint of suspicious behavior out of her. Until now. And I think that means I need to check out that cave for myself. Thanks for listening to Episode 2, Part 2 of Strange Tales. Strange Tales is written, performed, and edited by Laura Ketchum. The song Leaving Home was sourced from Incompetech.com. The Creative Commons license can be found in the show notes. All other songs and sound effects were sourced from Descript. Stay tuned for more of Fred's adventures in upcoming episodes.